In this video, I'm going to show you how to build this mobile charcuterie bar station. This is a great idea if you're looking for some side hustle money, you want to start a side business or a full-time business, hosting events where you can be hired out to serve fancy meat and cheese to folks. If you want to build one of these yourself, I have the build plans available on my website. The link is below in the video description. I also include links to all the products I use, to include the metal bins, the screw hardware, the threaded inserts, the hinges, all that stuff. The first step in this project is cutting all the rectangular holes to house the metal serving bins. There's a few different ways you can go about this. You could just use a jigsaw and cut a bunch of rough squares, but because this was a commission piece for a client, I wanted it to be extra clean and nice, so I built this simple jig out of some MDF, so I would have a perfect rectangle to the exact size I needed. I used that as a template to trace, drill some holes in the corner, then I used my jigsaw to clear out the majority of the material, getting as close to the line as I can without going over it. Once the majority of the material is removed, I fix the template in place with some clamps, and then I use a pattern router bit that has a ball bearing that runs along the pattern, and then I just take a couple shallow passes to get my initial groove cut, and I do that for all of them. Then you can see here I don't need the template anymore. I just reference off that first cut I did. Then it's just a matter of going around taking shallow passes to all of them. This does take a lot of extra time, creates a lot of dust, but it will give you the cleanest look possible. If you don't have a router and you don't want to do this, you can get away with just using a jigsaw, and those metal bins, the lip on them is going to cover any of the roughness. But like I said, this was for a client, so I wanted to take this extra step and do it the right way. Once all the cutouts are cleaned up, the final step is adding a slight 45-degree chamfer to clean it up. Now I'm just following the cut list included in the build plans, cutting all the plywood to the size needed, cutting all the premium pine to the appropriate width and length, and then just following along the build plans and getting everything assembled, using glue and brad nails to fix the trim work. And then here I'm cutting the vertical slats that are going to be the decorative aspect of this. There's other ways you could do this. You could do some herringbone patterns, but in this case, the client specifically wanted some vertical slats. Here I'm using what's called a shooting board that allows a planer to lay on its side, and it just takes off very small slivers of wood. And I'm doing this to get a perfect tight friction fit for all those vertical pieces. I'm putting a thin bead of glue on the back of all these slats. You don't want to use too much glue because that's more squeeze out. You're going to have to clean up and address, and it's tough to get in those small spaces there. So just a thin bead of glue is all you need. And then I'm using this spacer block, which you can see here. And I'm spacing it on the bottom, hitting it with a nail, moving it to the center, making sure the spacing is even, hitting it with a nail, and then sliding it up top. This is critical because it's going to take out any of the warp in those thin pieces of wood, especially with pine. Pine is not stable. It's going to move. Even if you rip those perfectly on a table saw, they're not going to be straight. So it is critical that you use a spacing block and you assemble it this way. At this point, the front and the sides are done, and I'm just getting the hinges attached. Do not put all the screws in at once, just maybe 4 on the top and bottom to make sure it holds and your spacing is correct. If you follow the plans, it should work perfectly, and this is what it looks like at this point. In order for the plastic bins to fit perfectly side by side underneath the metal containers, you gotta cut off the lips on both sides and then the lip on either the front or back. Just continuing to follow the build plans, using plywood and pine to build the 2 shelves. These shelves need to be robust because especially the top one is going to be holding the 2 plastic containers filled with ice and water, which are going to be very heavy. So they're going to sit on these removable ledges, and I made those removable because if you want the whole thing to be able to stow and fold flat, they need to come out. If you leave those in, it's going to interfere with the hinges. It's not going to be able to fold flat. So those use threaded inserts that are put into the wood, and then those thumb screws screw right into it. Mess around with the spacing. If you use different containers, your spacing will be different, but you basically want those containers, especially the top ones, as high as possible so the most amount of cold water is making contact with the metal containers. I'm now adding another hole in there because I want to be able to put a thumb screw in there through the bottom part of the shelf into the sides, and then once that's in, that's going to hold the sides solid, so there's no way the base can move and shift. Here I'm just doing a light sanding on the top, getting ready for some lacquer. I did about 10 coats of clear high gloss lacquer on there. Do not try to brush lacquer on, you need to spray it. It dries very quickly, no need to sand it between coats. Using my Greco sprayer, which I hate, I despise it. I threw it away after this. It broke halfway through, so I ended up having to use a hand brush and roller. Do not recommend the cordless Greco sprayer. It's very finicky. It's giving me nothing but problems. And it's like $600. You can buy much cheaper ones that probably work better and aren't as finicky. After everything's painted, doing a final assembly to get everything together outside to see how it fits together. As you can see here, those shelves just slide right on. I was debating if I should include a way to permanently affix the top to the base, but it's really not necessary. Once it's on there and the weight of all the contents are on there, it's not going to move. This is what it looks like when it's all assembled. The last thing I need to do here is create a circular logo for the client. I'm using birch plywood, so it matches the top. It's birch butcher block, so I figured the leftover birch plywood would match. Laser engraving that, and then I'm just putting a simple keyhole in the back and leaving it up to her to put the screw in so she can decide exactly where she wants it mounted in the front. And that's that. Project completed. That's all it takes to build one of these. Doing one final assembly because the client is on her way to pick it up, and I want it fully assembled when she gets here so I can show her the features, how it goes together, and then how to disassemble it. We'll get it loaded up for her. If you guys have any questions on how to build this yourself, leave a comment, reach out. I'm happy to help however I can. Like I said, build plans are available. I'm going to include the links to these plastic bins, the metal containers, the hinges, the screw hardware, all the stuff you need. I got it on Amazon, and I'll include the links to all the stuff I used. So this should be a fairly simple build process for you. Also, these individual bamboo serving trays were purchased on Amazon. If you guys need them laser engraved, I know a guy that does it. It's me. Just reach out. I can laser engrave this stuff for you. It'll be easy enough wherever you're located to find a local person with a laser on Facebook Marketplace as well. So don't let that be a barrier to entry. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks for watching.